I got a new sweatshirt. Hi there, my name is Sunny and today is November 3rd, 2014. For some reason I keep wanting to say October. It's November. Day 3 of NaNoWriMo is one of the harder days to get across. You're kind of just leaving the honeymoon stage of starting NaNoWriMo, so things are like getting real. You're starting, like today is Monday, so first day back to work, and then you have to deal with writing. That's tough. I ended up with a headache all day, partly because of the fumes. I work at a cabinet shop. I work in the office, so I'm not like out in the shop, but they were still spraying some stuff not in the spray booth, and so the fumes were coming into the office a little bit, and I started getting a headache. The other reason I was getting a headache is because all of my other stories are fighting in my head for my attention. There's two other stories that are kind of bouncing around my head other than Heartwrencher, which is the one I'm working on for NaNoWriMo this year. And they keep like knocking and saying, hey, what are you doing? We have some really cool shit going on, like pirates. Don't you want to write about pirates? We have pirates in this story. So my camera died, so while it was charging I had some dinner and did some chores, but needless to say, there was some headache-inducing craziness going on in my head today. It seems to have cleared up a little bit now that I've had some time to think about my story and what's going on. But anyway, my main point was that as the first week of NaNoWriMo goes on, there's a lot of people that drop out. There's a lot of people that burn out, or they haven't been able to figure out exactly what their big idea is, or maybe they're just not able to stay with it. Oh, perfectly timed sneeze, I guess. I guess the thing that you should aim for when doing NaNoWriMo is watching out for that first week. It's really easy to kind of get discouraged when things aren't going as smoothly as they did the first day. Like for me, the first day I did 38,000 words. 38,000, right? No, 3,800 words. And the second day, I didn't do quite as many words. Of course, I wasn't writing for as long that day. And today, day 3, I've yet to do any words. I may not actually do any writing today, but you can't get discouraged by that. Once the honeymoon period kind of wears off, it's really hard to stick with it. That's where the challenge of NaNoWriMo comes in. If we could all just do this in a weekend, people would be writing books left and right, but it is an endurance challenge and not a sprint. So while we can get ahead of ourselves in the first weekend and try to pad the numbers so that we can relax a few days during the month, that's a good idea. But you're not going to be able to keep that momentum up the whole time. And if you are a rare breed. So what we have to aim for, and what will help you get past this kind of bump in the road if you're experiencing it, I kind of feel like I am experiencing it. So this is also advice to myself. Be the tortoise. Just take it a little bit at a time. That's why on the stats page they tell you if you do this many words a day for the rest of the month, you'll still make the 50,000. So don't kill yourself, just do what you need to do and plan ahead. Last year I fell behind quite a bit. I went back and I looked at my Facebook page from last year. I was doing all sorts of posts about NaNoWriMo during the month, and so I was able to tell that I did 35,000 words in the last week. I actually did about 20,000 in the space of 4 days. And that's insane. But I did that so that I could, actually win NaNoWriMo. And if I had just stuck with it throughout the month and just did a little bit each day and chipped away at it, I wouldn't have had to climb a mountain at the end. It would have just been, walking down the pathway a little at a time. But yeah, I'm proud of that feat, but this year I'm going to try to stay with consistency and see how that gets me. It's also giving me time without just frantically writing all the time. It's giving me some time to actually think about what I'm going to write. I spent a lot of time today thinking about the scenes that I'm going to be writing later. After what I had written on the first day, the next scene for me to write, if I was to go in chronological order, would have been a subplot scene, and I put in a bunch of subplot scenes that I've not written. I put it all in the plan, so that scene I hadn't actually written up to that point of the subplot. So I have to go back, and in order for me to know where the emotional arc of all the characters are, and the little events and things and details that the characters have experienced that will inform what happens later on, I like it all to be connected, and I like it to feel like they have actually experienced those things. And it's easier for me to do that if I have already written those scenes that they've been in before. So I need to go back and write all of my subplot stuff that I added in later on. I kind of feel like I'm editing, so I am experiencing a little bit of the day 3 doldrums. But I think it's necessary, and in my case, it's because I'm finishing up the story that I started last year. So I've already got 50,000 words of story that I have to kind of play with to match with this year's NaNoWriMo. So I am, in some respects, editing what I did last year at the same time that I'm doing this. I'm going through it and looking at it for context on the scenes that I have to put in to what I had already written. So it's a little tricky. It's definitely different than last year. Last year, the experience was just getting the words on the page, and I think eventually, once I get these subplot scenes done, I think eventually it'll come to that. This NaNoWriMo will eventually be that, just writing and getting the plot going, but I have to do all of this, like, ladder building at first, and so it's a little stressful. This first week is going to be tough for me. I'm not feeling like I'm making any progress, but I am on goal with the word count. Day 3 word count is 5,000 words. I've got just over 5,000. So even if I don't write anything today, I'm still on task. I am the tortoise. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow with another update, and maybe we'll talk about something fun, maybe process, or I don't know, just something interesting again tomorrow. Remember, be the tortoise, take it easy, don't kill yourself, take it slow, be good. Bye.